All right, yo. We're doing one of those videos where I discuss crazy Christian ideas, general Christian ideas that some people in the faith have come up with, and of course, the most obvious one is young Earth creationism, and I'm going to show you guys why it is idiotic. So I was looking at this video from Capturing Christianity. Go check those guys out. And this doctor was talking about why he is no longer a young Earth creationist, but is a theistic evolutionist, just like I am. And I decided to scroll through the comments, and I put some of them here on my Google Docs. And one person says Eve is called the mother of all the living, and Paul says in Acts 17 that God made every nation of mankind of one blood. Cain's wife is not a mystery. The mystery is Christians who are so confused and controlled by atheistic philosophies as to be unable to see through their many false assumptions. The theory of evolution is an ancient Greek idea present in Alex. I can't even read that. And many others. It's sad to see that Christians are still allowing the wisdom of the world to enchant them. Well, no, we are not. We're allowing science to quote unquote enchant us. This is why I have a problem with these people, because they make up stuff. Now, the fact of evolution being an ancient Greek idea, I'm not sure, so I'm not going to comment on it. But this lady's talking about we're confused. I'm sorry, you're confused, my friend. You don't look at the evidence. All you do is rely on biblical text, which I believe, but you cannot use that in an objective text in any way, shape, or form when dealing with atheists, with Muslims, with Mormons, because they don't believe in that. They don't believe in the hard rock truth of the scriptures like we do. So in saying that, you can't use the Bible as evidence for anything scientific, especially because the Bible is not a scientific book. It is not meant to be so, nor will it ever be. We cannot use it to guide us through science. There is a few verses at the very beginning of the book that briefly talk about the so-called creation of the universe. Now, we can take those literally or figuratively. Now, see, here's what gets me with many Christians today. They pick and choose what they want to take figuratively and literally. And this is one of them. They choose, for some reason, that it benefits them in a way. It separates them from the world, they would say, to say that the Genesis creation account is purely literal. But for me, being used to be a young Earth creationist, now with I believe in theistic evolution. I'm a Christian who believes in evolution, right? Seeing both sides of those perspectives, I realize that scientifically evolution is undeniable for a variety of reasons, which I have another video. You can go check it out. Forgot what it's called. It has evolution in the name, so you can look for that. But that's the point I'm trying to make. They don't want to accept science. They want to accept their own interpretations of the Bible. All right. So moving on to the next one. We are created on God's image. I guess he meant in God's image. If evolution is true, then God looked like a monkey and evolved with us. Oh, shoot. So God created mankind in his own image. In the image of God, he created them, male and female. He created them 3 times. God confirms it. Okay. Really, that is the dumbest thing you could say for a variety of reasons. Reason number one, when God says we are made in his image, he does not mean that we are God. He does not mean we are in God's form, because God is spirit. He is not a man. He does not have flesh and bones, unless you're talking about Jesus. What it means is and there's different Christian views on it, but my views on it is it means the mindset. You have personal choice. You have the ability to solve problems. You have the ability to choose what you're going to do, make decisions. These certain characteristics that other animals don't necessarily have. like Homo sapiens. And so it's just purely ignorant to make that statement, and it's deceitful. And I think they purposely did that. All right, next comment. I was content that theistic evolution was a reasonable position and that it wasn't inconsistent with scripture. Then I discovered that evolution science has always been fraught with uncritically scrutinized arguments and assumptions, fraudulent data being accepted as fact over 100 years in one case. Evolution has always been pushed because it serves a particular ideological agenda. Similarly, the science and conversation surrounding the gender theory isn't driven by impartial inquiry, but an ideological agenda. Now let's just think about this for a sec. He says, then I discovered evolution science has always been fraught with uncritically scrutinized arguments. What do you think science is? Everything in science is scrutinized, or else it won't become a part of scientific method. You're just lying there. That is so ignorant to say. It is harshly ignorant to say. But of course, you have an agenda to push. You have your ideology to push. And that's the problem I have with Christians today. They always have ideologies. They don't use science. They don't use the scientific method. They ignore certain parts of science that they don't like, and then they accept parts of science that they do like. This is the problem, and this is why we're losing so many Christians. He says fraudulent data. What fraudulent data? Even if there was fraudulent data, it is very, very easy and simple to prove evolution. Very simple. I've demonstrated this on the podcast and on this channel several times. You can go back and try and prove me wrong on that. Final quote: evolution violates the second law of thermodynamics. Things tend to fall apart over time. We can observe this. Now, the second law of thermodynamics, I'm not going to start talking about it specifically because I'm not exactly sure on the particular rules of that law. So I'm not going to comment on that. But things tend to fall apart over time. What does that have to do with evolution? That's totally different. If we leave, let's just say, a rock outside and let it erode, of course that will fall apart. But we're talking about biological life taking steps through genetic mutation, through speciation, and all these processes. This is evolution. And we have demonstrated it through the scientific method, through the fossil record. Microevolution has been observed. So why is it unreasonable that over millions and millions of years, macroevolution will happen with enough microevolution? What is so unreasonable about that? But again, they don't want reason. They want their own ideologies. And I hate criticizing fellow Christians, but that's what they do. That is what these certain young earth creationists do. Now, I'm not meaning this for all young earthers. I know plenty of them. My mom's a young earth creationist. I respect their views on it because of their particular beliefs and reasons for that. But I do not respect people saying that evolution is not scientifically backed, that it is all a part of this big ideology trying to be pushed. It's not. It's science. And the same thing is said with the earth being round, which we have plenty of evidence for the earth not being the center of the universe, all these things. For some reason, religious people have pushed against time and time again. And it is really sad that, and this is why atheists are on the rise, because it is much more appealing to be an atheist. We have Christians running around spewing out all this bullcrap. And it's really sad. This is why I founded a ministry, to teach you guys the truth. And that, yes, you can believe in evolution and be a Christian. I've done it. I've done it for the past 1 to 2 years. I've done it perfectly fine. I've no doubt in my mind that evolution is 100% true and the gospel is 100% true. Thank you guys for listening to this episode of Common Sense Christianity. Make sure you subscribe, like the video. Go check out our other videos. Check out our podcast. and check out the new Sons of Liberty podcast if you like learning about politics and all that and my views on it. And until next time, I'm Ethan Foster here with Common Sense Christianity.